So, fandom currently is still updating Kama with her MP buff. So, we are going to start this buff spree off with Lanling. And I feel like this is the buff that I wanted for him. Pretty sure they weren't going to make everything on his skill AOE. It wasn't going to happen. But I think how they buffed him was probably the best way to buff a character like this. He is without a doubt one of the best. No, he is probably one of the best multi-core supports if you are using characters that have like Imperial Privilege, like Umu. Like if you're doing multi-core that involves Nero Bride and maybe another character that has Imperial Privilege, Lanling is probably going to be your best option because he's going to allow everyone in that party to actually get the effects of the buff success rate, including himself, because there was issues with this kit where you had to choose between buffing Lanling and getting like his third skill to actually do stuff, or targeting another character, especially one that had Imperial Privilege. Now you don't have to make that choice, and you can give the battery to whoever needs it. And if Lanling needs it, it's not like his MP doesn't do anything. All right, first skill, or sorry, not first skill. First, his costume, really nice. I like this, very clean. 9.1k attack, 12.6k HP. Yeah, HP is towards the higher end, but not like really high either. Attack is on the lower end, but he's also a support, so kind of doesn't matter that much. MP charge 0.65%, a lot better, especially with this buff. He's gonna be able to crit on his arts cards a lot more, including the rest of your party too. Yeah, I don't have a problem with his hit counts. 5 hit extra attack. You'll get some refund out of it. Yeah, you'll definitely get a good chunk out of it, but not super amazing. First skill, invul 2 attacks for 3 turns for himself, and a party-wide charisma 20%. Yeah, no, this is fine. The invuls carry over through multiple turns. Like if this was just a turn of invul and a charisma, I think this actually could have been a 1 turn. Like I genuinely kind of think that. But this is the best case scenario. Yeah, you use this and you can't lose it. It'd be different if this is 1 turn, but because it's 2 attacks, you pop this for the damage, and don't worry about this. Second skill is what got buffed. So, one of the big problems I had with it was the fact that it was 20%. 20% in the current meta does not get you much because characters already have 20%. You're basically saying now you need to bring a 20% support to like not waste charge, and 20% supports, unless their name is Castoria, or yeah, no, unless their name is Castoria, like it's not the best choice. Because you do have to sacrifice damage for not losing charge, and if you're bringing like another Castoria, now you have to unless the battery situation is like really weird, you're probably gonna have to waste another Castoria battery. Also increases buff success rate for 1 turn. 40%. This completely fights off the demerit of Imperial Privilege. It basically means that your skills are guaranteed to pop. But because of his third skill having these RNG effects, you have to make the conscious choice of whether you're gonna battery Lanling or you're gonna battery your DPS. You kind of had to hope that your DPS was like Ozymandias that could give buff success rate too, or one of your DPS was like Ozymandias to like guarantee this stuff. But most recent buff, 30% battery, targeted, party-wide buff success rate that lasts for 3 turns, and it's still 40%, and then 20 stars. This is absolutely perfect for Lanling. he was always an arts crit support. His third skill, 20% arts for the party, 50% star gen, 50% crit damage. Before this was RNG, and it was just like worse caster Gil. Now he is not just worse caster Gil. He has a real purpose, and that is Imperial Privilege buffing. For Umu specifically, she is gonna see a lot of benefit from this, mostly because she's art, so she'll get this. Unfortunately, because Umu only has one hit on her MP, like this star gen is not going to do much for her. Yeah, like being completely honest, you need the 100% star gen, and because she only has one hit, it's basically she has a chance to make a star or not make a star. Not great, but the crit damage being 50%, that is awesome. Like this being guaranteed, oof. He is a legitimate crit support now, not an RNG crit support. Debuff res 15%, quick up 10%. Multi-core, you definitely want to go for this append. Especially because it's multi-core. If Tezcali Polka is involved, you're definitely gonna want this, because then popping your MP is gonna be like really easy. Yeah, it's like Tezcali Polka and like another DPS that has Imperial Privilege, and Lanling is eating really good. MP, guaranteed drain, crit attack hands down 20%, that lasts for 3 turns. Damage cut scales with MP copies, starts at 500, goes up to 1500. I like this scaling far more than I like on John the Arc, because hers is very bad. Yeah, it's like for John, she goes from MP1 to MP5 immediately, and then she keeps scaling. And it's like, well, shit, MP2 is like literally 3 times better than MP1. It's like way to make a character look bad. But no, his scaling looks okay, but you know, I would like better this damage cut to go higher. But like damage cut that isn't hit base is when it's the base number is like around this number. This is where you really stop taking damage, especially because like if you're able to spam this MP, like his arts card comes up and you just click it for arts chains. Having like good uptime on this isn't a bad thing, and you also get a 30% attack buff too. It's like, so he has 2 different charismas as long as he can get to his MP. So using him with characters, not just characters that have Imperial Privilege, but also characters that can keep him spamming his MP. So Tezcali Polka, Da Vinci Rider, like those 2 characters in particular are able to like get him to actually ramp up his attack buffs. However, it is only attack buffs. So the big issue is this with trying to do the MP spam thing is, why are you just not using Castoria then? Because this is not Castoria's MP scaling, but it's also not that far off. Yeah, I'm not saying this as a slight against Lanling because of Castoria. I'm just saying, like, if you are trying to just like have really good uptime on this just for the attack buff, you're better off using Castoria. But if you want the drain and the damage cut, you would want to just be spamming the MP. Because Castoria she doesn't provide defense, and she doesn't drain. So if that's what you want to spam the MP for, go for it. But I think like if you're just doing it for the attack buff, you do have a lot better options than him. Bond CE, arts up 10%, MP gen up 10% while he's on the field. Very good Bond CE, considering like he's supposed to be an art support. Like this gives him pseudo looping support. Like he's so, I don't think they're gonna buff him to make him try to compete with Shufu. I don't think they're gonna buff this and make it 30, because it is like, this is the standard for an AOE card buff. And I don't think they're gonna give him like MP gain. He's not going to be a looping support. He is going to be a crit support and Imperial privilege support, like specifically those two. Adding more farming utility for this character, I think, is just no. We can stop. We can stop trying to make every arts, we can stop making every character that makes arts also an art support. Arts support for arts of DPS. But I mean, he was always art, so it's not like they were gonna also give him quick or something. Like, they were never gonna do that. But I would like more quick supports. Especially after Combo's buff, I would very much love more quick supports. But yeah, that's Prince of Lanling. This was a small but very important buff for him. Like, it doesn't, what he was already good at, he's now even better at. And the 30 battery does make him a more general support as well, because a lot of the times it is that 20 battery that kind of screws you over. There's a reason they've been buffing like the welfares and making their batteries 30 and not 20. It just works in the current meta. Yeah. So hopefully Kama is ready to go so I can record that. Tier list should be out tomorrow on Tuesday. And I won't be streaming. I'll take a nap and then stream Honkai when it comes out. All right. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.